Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
South Australia is home to a world-class defence sector that is one of the state's fastest-growing industries. 7 of the world's top 10 defence businesses call South Australia home, and for more than 20 years, South Australian businesses have been delivering the nation's most complex defence projects. Here to talk about the many exciting jobs and lifelong careers on offer in defence is Kieran, an engineering team leader at Babcock. Good morning to you, Kieran.
Hey guys,
How are you
how
this
going?
morning?
Yeah, good.
So, Kieran, can you tell us a bit about what you do and what it is like working in the naval shipbuilding sector?
Yeah, look, as you said, my name's Kieran. I'm an engineering team lead for Babcock. I work out of one of our maintenance facilities here in South Australia, just north of Port Adelaide. And I guess, our role is to support the maintenance of equipment, essentially, that comes off the Collins-class submarines. And I guess the industry itself is, it's complex, it's rewarding. There's a lot of opportunities, as you say, so I guess the future is pretty exciting as well.
Cool. So how did you find yourself on this career path? Did you have an interest for this growing up, or? Absolutely
not. I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do, and arguably I still wonder what it is I want to be when I grow up. But so it's been a bit of an evolving journey. 2 key things that come to mind was I always had a passion for using my hands, understanding how things work. Like building and creating. And I think mixing those two together has led me to, I guess, the career path I'm at and where I'm at now today.
Very nice.
Yeah, so can you tell us a bit about your unique study journey? First going to university, deciding it wasn't the right time, then studying a certificate at TAFE before eventually going back and finishing a degree at uni. How did this pathway unfold for you?
Yeah, it's pretty unconventional, pretty stressful at the time too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I think at high school, we're all faced with a decision of what's next. And for me, I guess I just based it on grades and the people around me and I guess your parents' influence and stuff. And that was to go to uni. And I started off, I guess I was fortunate enough to get into uni for first, and it was exciting. But it shortly sort of fell off a cliff the first sort of year for me. I just lost that desire and real understanding of what it all really meant. So I had that uncomfortable conversation with my parents, mainly because my grades were plummeting.
Yeah.
But I guess very lucky. They were very supportive, and I told them that I wanted to go try something else. They supported that, and I guess the one main thing they said was, you're not going to be sitting at home on the couch, that's for sure. So as long as you're doing something, go do it. And that led me to working with my old man, who was a tradie in residential building. And I guess, developed a lot of sort of hands-on skills, life skills, bit of pocket monies, which led to travel, further life experience as well. And I think it was one hot Aussie summer that led me to my next holding point, where it's like, could I do this for the rest of my life? Which, led me to sort of applying for random sort of positions throughout South Australia. And I'd landed an apprenticeship as a fitter and turner in the oil and gas industry there, which kept my, I guess, learning journey ongoing, which is fantastic. And that's why I went to TAFE. I got my trades certificate, met a bunch of great people. But then I guess years had passed, and there I was again to make that decision what I wanted to do next. I always had a passion for learning and progressing, and I spoke to the business at that time, and thankfully they supported me working full time and studying part time back at engineering, because it all made a bit more sense to me. So.
Yeah, awesome. So you talk about being an apprentice, doing the fitter and turner apprenticeship. Can you tell us how that impacted your future plans and what you learned from that made you so successful now in what you do?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of skills out there that you don't really know exist. And starting off as an apprentice, obviously you've got the obvious hands-on, like the hard skills. In this instance, sort of the machining, the welding, pulling things apart, putting them back together. But you got the soft skills as well, as the communication, working in a team, understanding how a business works. And I guess all of that exposure, you may not appreciate it at the time, but looking back, you're like, it was critical to where you are today. And another key one is just having that workshop experience. I'm now taking it into the office, and I found I think I've got a good way of developing relationships with a variety of different people from departments, countries, everything. So it's been great.
So most people's knowledge of submarines and naval ships are pretty limited to the movies. What's a typical day look like for you? What's involved in your work?
Yeah, look, unfortunately, there's not torpedoes and explosions.
Damn. Sure, on the cannon.
Yeah. I shouldn't have shared that one, but look, it's mixed into a bunch of things. I said we maintain a bunch of equipment. It comes off, it's been underwater for sort of 10 years. It's dirty, it's smelly, but yeah, we see it back to life. So that's part of the gig. The other part is probably just the management side of things, making sure we as a team deliver what we say we're going to deliver and on time and things like that. And the other large part is just the people management, the position I'm in. Probably the most passionate part of my role is seeing the team grow and develop and doing the things that they want to do as well and supporting that. So, and I suppose the day fillers are the coffee and the Vietnamese rolls and things like that too. So
Love a banh mi.
Oh, yeah.
So there's plenty of opportunities opening up right now in the defence industry. With these roles in such high demand, why do you think someone should consider a career in defence?
Yeah, sort of touched upon it earlier. Just it's complex, so you're forever learning. And for that, for me, it's always been really rewarding. Overcoming those sort of difficult moments in time. And I guess as you, I suppose at any stage of your life as well, a big one for me at the moment is work-life balance. It's a reason why I shifted industries. I was looking for it, and I could confidently say that I've definitely found it, and I'm overall happier for that as well. So it's really that balance of all those aspects, and mixed with, I guess, the security side of things as well. I wouldn't say it's recession-proof, but it's up there, and just the future prospects and the different types of things that are going on as well. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself in submarines. There's a variety of things you can move to.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much variety, and it sounds like a great field to hop into. But if you're studying or doing an apprenticeship, there's all these different avenues you can go through to work in defence. Do you have any advice for people starting to get into it and trying to break into the field?
Yeah, look, I think just general advice would be to just get out, especially early on, just get out there and give things a go. You don't know what you don't know. And it's good to forecast and predict where you're going to be in 10 years' time, but hopefully, like everybody else, myself definitely, after that first step, the next 10 steps are completely different to what you think you were going to be doing. So it's really just, for me, it was critical, just make sure you get out there and start something, do something, and then just constantly reassess where you're at and go from there. It can be overwhelming looking too far ahead. Just roll with the punches.
Fresh 92.7 presents Resumaybe, kickstarting your career with fresh jobs.
Yes, it is time to play Resumaybe. Basically, the way this game works, Kieran, is you're going to read out a skill that only one of us has. We need to try and convince you that one of us is telling the truth. Now, you're allowed to ask one follow-up question, and then you'll need to guess which one of us is the lying rats and which one is telling the truth. So, may you please read out the skill?
I'm an excellent dart player.
Excellent dart player.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I used to work behind the bar at Modbury Soccer Club, and on a Tuesday night they'd have a dart competition. So what they'd all competitively play darts. So what I did is I ended up obviously filling in a few times because I was sort of a spare barmaid, and then it just went on from there, and I ended up really good at it.
You can ask questions and pry, maybe something like, what was your favourite cocktail to make? And how do you make it if you're such a bartender?
I was at the Modbury Soccer Club. It was beers.
Okay, interesting.
Come on
What
now.
beers were on tap, maybe?
Yeah, list all of them.
Hans Superdry, Cooper's Pale Ale. You've got your
Wrong.
All right, enough out of her.
I was there last week. None of them are on tap.
Oh, you're yeah. Come on now. You're not the one asking the questions here.
Cracks are forming.
Look, I'm an absolute ace on the dartboard. I actually did work behind a bar just here in town, and we had a dartboard, so at knockoffs we'd just sit there and play darts for a couple hours, and I ended up getting pretty good and undefeated, actually.
Yeah, look, both credible stories, both similar angles. Tom, I'm not sure if I can trust you with that haircut. But,
Look at that moustache.
Look, it's a
bit sus.
trustworthy moustache.
It can be.
He's cut his hair short, especially for this occasion, because he doesn't want to seem seedy with his long hair. He just wants to convince you.
Oh, yeah. So why do you reckon you're a bloody dart player?
Well, I used to work with the travelling carnies. I used to go to the Royal Show, and there would be all these carnival games on the side, and you'd throw the needles and the darts at the balloons. And, I'd have to show kids how to do it. They'd pay, get a big monkey toy or whatever. You had so many prizes. There was this one monkey that would drop so much fur, but yeah, it was so stupid. And then, anyway, so I just got really good at throwing these darts at the balloons, and they had a little board out the back, and I just slam it on my brakes.
You know what's tough about that is that it is kind of believable, because you do look like you could be travelling with carnies, mate.
Yeah, passionate
exactly
response.
right. Carney code. I won't show you the tattoo. It's only for secret carney members only.
Maybe later.
So who do you think, Kieran, who do you think is telling the truth?
I'm going to roll with yourself, Davo, I reckon.
Me?
Yep, I'm going to run with that.
Interesting.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I can let you know, Kieran, that Davo is incorrect. It was me. I'm the ace on the dart. She stole my story.
I'm a
That's why
lying
she
rat.
went first.
Shifty.
Yeah, very shifty of her. Hey, thanks so much for joining us this morning. To find out more and explore your options with vocational education and training from nationally recognised qualifications, apprenticeships to earn while you learn, or flexible short courses, head to skills.sa.gov.au. Kieran, you've been a pleasure. Thanks, mate.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.